Well, hello from London. This is Tony Lobel, and I'm recording this podcast for you from my office in my back garden in the area of London in which I live. So wonderful to be connecting with you, and I'm sorry I can't be with you in person, but here are some thoughts I did want to share with you so that I can contribute to your deliberations and your prayers and your preparations for our lecture together. Well, firstly, a quote that you might be very familiar with. Mary Baker Eddy says in Science and Health with Key to Scriptures, millions of unprejudiced minds, simple seekers for truth, weary wanderers athirst in the desert, are waiting and watching for rest and drink. Give them a cup of cold water in Christ's name and never fear the consequences. Well, that led me to several questions I had to ask myself. They were these: how do I pray for a lecture? How do I change people's minds about Christian Science so that they will come to a lecture? What if I give an invitation to someone and it is rejected? How do we communicate the value of Christian Science? And what if we feel resistant to sharing Christian Science with others? Well, I found answers to this in one page of Miscellaneous Writings 1883 to 1896. So here goes. How do I pray for a lecture? Well, the opening paragraph on that page 127 says this: Hitherto I have observed that in proportion as this church has smiled on his little ones, he has blessed her. Throughout my entire connection with the Mother Church, I have seen that in the ratio of her love for others hath his love been bestowed upon her, watering her waste places and enlarging her borders. So as we look out with love for all in our community and really pray to see them with the love with which God sees all of them, then that will work in our favor and bless our efforts to make this lecture a success, because God will smile on us as we are smiling on his little ones, which really means everyone in our community, doesn't it? So what about that second question? How do we change people's minds about Christian Science? Well, the answer I got from page 127 was we don't. We let our minds be changed by the Christ. How is this put there? It says this: One thing I have greatly desired, and again earnestly request, namely that Christian Scientists, here and elsewhere, pray daily for themselves, not verbally, nor on bended knee, but mentally, meekly, and importunately. When a hungry heart petitions the divine Father, Mother God for bread, it is not given a stone, but more grace, obedience, and love. If this heart, humble and trustful, faithfully asks divine love to feed it with the bread of heaven, health, holiness, it will be conformed to a fitness to receive the answer to its desire. Then will flow into it the river of his pleasure, the tributary of divine love, and great growth in Christian Science will follow, even that joy which finds one's own in another's good. Well, that's a key line at the end there. When we've prayed for ourselves, when we've been conformed by God to receive the answer to our prayers, which is qualities like grace, obedience, and love, then great growth in Christian Science will follow, and we will love finding our joy by helping others who need the good that we already have. And so we will share it, and we will share it with love. Okay, number 3. What if I give an invitation to someone and it is rejected? Well, Miscellaneous, page 127 says this: To love and to be loved, one must do good to others. The inevitable condition whereby to become blessed is to bless others. But here you must so know yourself under God's direction that you will do his will even though your pearls be downtrodden. So even if people tread on our pearls as we try and share them, we are doing the right thing if we're doing it with love and because we have felt led to do it with a particular individual at a particular time. And I have seen sometimes the person who rejects an invitation at one point comes back later and asks for more about Christian Science later on. So let's not consider it a failure. Let's just consider it an opportunity that is in pause mode for the present. But sometime the pause button will be clicked off and the conversation will return to Christian Science when the other individual wants to know more. So number 4, how do we communicate the value of Christian Science? Well, sometimes we're tempted to tell people so much so quickly. I call it teaching class. But what they really need is to feel your love, to feel your affection, compassion, and tenderness. That's what Mary Baker Eddy says here on this page. She says, wise sayings and garrulous talk may fall to the ground rather than on the ear or heart of the hearer. But a tender sentiment felt, or a kind word spoken at the right moment, is never wasted. So be the love you want to see, and when people see the love you want to be, they will feel loved and they will feel more receptive, more open, more interested. It's all about love. Yes, we need the metaphysics and the understanding, but those are the stepping stone to the consciousness of love that enables us to heal and share and also to feel blessed and to be a blessing. Well, number 5, last but not least, what if we feel resistant to sharing Christian Science with others? Well, Mary Baker Eddy addresses that. She says, mortal mind presents phases of character which need close attention and examination. The human heart, like a feather bed, needs often to be stirred, sometimes roughly, and given a variety of turns, else it grows hard and uncomfortable whereon to repose. Well, if you're like me, you do not want to sit on a hard, lumpy sofa or bed or anything. And if we think about our thinking, we need to see where the hardness is and remove the hardness from our hearts and let that tender, compassionate, wise, intelligent, strong Christliness come to our consciousness so that we love more and feel more loved and can go out with more confidence to share not with everyone we meet, but as we're led and inspired to do so, where people have needs which we think Christian Science can meet, or where they seem receptive to spirituality and good ideas, or where we just feel intuitively inspired that this is the right person at the right time. Well, I hope these ideas are helpful to you in your deliberations about the lecture. I think the best thing we can bring to the lecture is just the prayer that opens our consciousness to God. That is like lifting up a light that draws people to its brightness and its warmth. Even if they haven't seen you praying and don't know that you pray, they will feel the effect of your prayers and be drawn to it. And what a joy, what a privilege, and what a pleasure it is for me to be invited to come over and be with you for this lecture event that you are so generously putting on for your community. Your love is a blessing, and I feel blessed already to be in the circumference of your love for others, which has included me in. I wish you the very best and send you lots of love. Bye-bye for now.